Microphone, microphone, are you loud enough? This is how loud I'll get. It's not too rough. We could probably turn it up slightly more, or maybe more away from the door. There we go, that's probably where it normally is. Do. Alright. Okay. Oh, I already turned it on. Excellent. So that's going. Didn't put on pretzels today. I close Spotify so it doesn't accidentally play music that I get dinged for. And alright. One more time. We'll move this and see if it doesn't reset everything. We did it, Ripley. We did it. Oh snaps. Should have moved that a little bit, but whatever. If I sit like this work? I think this works. This will do. This will do. This will do. Oh my god, I forgot to turn this thing on. Yeah, no such thing as grown-ups. Your countdown has completed. But are you connected to all of the things? Oh, come on now, Mixer. Why you got a 0 on there? Make it a check mark. I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed it. You should be working. Alright, you give me no information by tapping on you, so... Sorry, Mixer. Sorry. Once again, chat is not connected, and I don't know why, because I connected it this time. I connected it this time. Hey, oh well, I can see text from Mixer, thanks to the gallant knightry of Patty Prue, who is on all of the channels like a crazy hullabaloo. Hey, Space Goody, what do you do? Okay. Oh, snaps. Oops. Don't do that. There we go. And then theory, Ripley. In theory, we just press the button, right? Awesome. Do it.
Tell your friends, and tell your hot mom. There's no such thing as grownups.com.
Alright, so there we go. Press this button. Alright, this is way more awkward than I thought it was going to be. And real quick. Squint, and then you can see further. Rebuffer this. I hit OK. Alright, I wanted to say, hey, I messed with the color a bit, so now it's a little more normal. Maybe this is just how bright I am. I'm just super reflective. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. I am paper. Anyway, this is no such thing as grown-ups. The live stream version. I do have another part of an excessively drunk Tara podcast to upload. I haven't listened to it. Maybe it's too crazy. But I gotta run through it first and make sure it's not too crazy. But it's definitely a little bit too crazy not to put up. But anyway, that's a thing. That's a thing that we do. And yeah, don't be scared. Don't be scared. I'm not fully see-through. Excuse me. Did just drink a big mouthful of Powerade right before I hit start. So that's ghosty great. My name is Curtis, and right here we got Milo looking away when I point at him, and honestly, that's my favorite thing in the world, because I don't know. I don't know what frame he's on. I don't have it memorized, and I probably won't. Anyway, and of course, Our space Julie's got another sub. Floating down the river going rubber dub. Heading to the Walmart and she knows why. Cause she's gotta make a mud pie. What is that emoticon? I don't know what that emote is. It looks like a rock with sunglasses. Is that a rock with sunglasses? Anyway, and then of course we got stupid Major Penguin over here, and assorted characters, and of course Ripley is running all of this on her magic little leaf pad, I guess is what I made there, and because Pat is the most adorable ever. Like I said, if you enjoy space adventures at all and space knowledge, you got to go follow Pat Prue 101. And again, honestly, now that I realize it's pronounced Pat Prue and not Pat Prouse, which doesn't make it any better, Pat Prue 102. But of course, if you're learning 101, you got to start at 101 to go learn about Pat Prue 101. Oh, I can see a small mouse with glasses as well. Weird. I guess, yeah, that's the new thing. I never really dug into it, but there's like streamer points and whatever that unlock things, but they're not my emotes, so again, what do I care? Yeah, so last week I skipped out because sometimes the world it just doesn't beat to the same drum as you. I don't know the Different Strokes theme song, but some days the world's just closing in on you, and you're like, all right, cool. I'll just curl into this little spot right here and wait for everything to re-expand again. Is it gonna re-expand again? What's going on over here? Hey, what's going on? This is an expensive pen, and I don't want to bite down on that. Um, so I was like, yeah, no, I can't. I just can't. I can't. I'm only gonna go on stream and say just mean things for the sake of being mean and just rant and tirade. And I know that that's kind of how most people actually get their jams on, get all their followers and whatnot. But I'm like, no. I want it to be for just doing this, for hanging out with cats and whatnot, and this and this and that. But we'll talk about Mental Health Day and mental health for a little bit, But first, let's go to the Breakdown Palace. That's what I'm just gonna call that the apartment. This now. It's not the Haunted Mansion. It's Breakdown Palace because oh man. Anyway, before I even get into stories, I just talk about what we're gonna do today. What are we gonna do today? Um, First we'll find the camera that switches to the other thing. Nope. There we go. So we're gonna do another daily comic today. Again, if you haven't been following along on Instagram, I almost every day I put up a little comic, usually about me, sometimes about whatever other random stuff. Often Murio and his adventures. Can we flip back? All right. So this today's comic is technically a part 3. They've gotten into a sequence of events, kind of. Um, so yeah, we can all see that. Milo's all like, got a duct tape, and I'm like, in the junk drawer, and then he's off at the junk drawer getting stuff like, what about a piece of rope? And I'm like, junk drawer, an assortment of batteries, and I'm like, yeah, junk drawer, jerk. And then he's like, oh wait, and then we go back down. I always read these in the wrong way. Baptist celebrity hobes, rat poison, clothespins, and an extension cord. Junk drawer. And then Miles was all like, ever notice how junk drawers are surprisingly similar to a kidnapping box? Kidnapping toolbox? Anyway, I'll be back later. Wait, what? Are you going to kidnap somebody? Is the intimation there? Oh, you don't even know about the Ryan Gosling comic yet, Pat Prue. You and your fortune telling ways. So then, the next day, I'm like, well, we can't end it there. We can't end it there. What did he do with all those kidnapping supplies? Did he really kidnap somebody? And I come in and I'm all like, Ryan Reynolds, please tell me you're making a movie in the best Danny Tanner fashion I can. And Milo's like, nope, making Grantham letters, just like a little, Uncle Joey? No. There's Uncle Jesse and, Dave Coulier. Yeah, Uncle Joey. Was he Uncle Joey? Thinking of Joey Tribbiani over here. I can't think of Joey Gladstone. Yeah, his name is Joey. So he's being a real Uncle Joey over there, and I'm still Uncle Dannying letters with an S. Why do you need more than one ransom letter? Everyone could have Ray Ray back in all the movies. They just have to pay dot 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 $1, just $1 each from all the people who watch all the movies. It's super affordable, and now we're a team. And I'm like, it does sound affordable. You hold the letters and I'll work the glue. He's super excited. Like, we're actually going to probably do this. We're going to put out a ransom letter to everybody who watches Ryan Reynolds movies and just get $1 from all of them. If everybody who watched a Ryan Reynolds gave this idiot $1, then, I mean, it's almost a victimless crime. Almost a victimless crime. And then today, we're going to do part 3, which it gets a little bit nuts. It gets a little bit nuts. So in part 3, I just have the text so far. So last time I was like, let's keep it a secret. This time, right off the bat, I'm going to let you see the text, and then we're going to put in some real simple drawings, and then we'll play some games, depending on how long it takes me to draw, because we all know, as you can tell, I get hyper distracted to talking when I'm trying to draw. Especially when there's a camera that I should be looking into and not past, as I often do. But there's the camera, and there's you guys. There's the camera, and there's where I think you were. Not good at TV. Not good at TV. So, today's comic is, I'll just rough something in real quick so we can see where we're going. I'm trying something slightly different with my setup, my drawing setup here, as always, because I could sit at the desk, but there's still Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers doesn't sit at no desk. Mr. Rogers sits at a chair, so you can see him, so you can see what he's doing. Mr. Rogers and his puppets. Does that make me one of the puppets? Am I a puppet? Am I Princess Penelope Peachface or whatever those guys? Major King Major Johnson of the Kingdom. I don't remember. Am I the trade? Maybe I could be the trade. A dig, dig, dig. I'm a little trolley. A dig, 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 dig. No, you're not. Anyway, was I even looking in the right place? Where's your face? Close enough. As always trying something a little bit different to make it visually more appealing. In other words, fly. And it always feels awkward and different. I'll probably adjust this table up and down 16 times. But one thing I did break down and order, I got a little extra gift card money there one day for the Amazon. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, you know what I should get? This thing that I can just go crank, and change the different angles of this thing. Oh, in a nice fluid motion. As opposed to my other one, was like, oh, let me just fold out this part. Cut my hand. Let me fold this part. Cut my hand. Okay, then we just fold that in here. My hands are all cut. Why is this so sharp? This thing is just sharp edges. Why? This came with the tablet. This is dangerous. So for like $40 or whatever, I'm like, fine. I'll get a thing to put a thing on for $40. My comfort is worth $40 apparently. And it is. It's made a world of difference. Amazon is pure evil, but it is magical, just like most evils of the world. They're the best. I feel like I had something to say about that later, but we'll get into that. So anyway, I'm just gonna put a little guy with a bag on his head. There's his shoulders. And this time I'm going to actually just rough it out real quick too. I'm not going to try and draw it clean like I did last time. That just ended up in not getting anything done. So there's some little legs. a little chair, put his arms behind his back, rope, 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 tape. And plain bag is fine. Plain bag is fine. So, in this one, Milo will be on this side. Oh yeah, this is actually working pretty good. So, boop. One of my favorite things about these comics is I draw my hair different in just about every single comic. But it's close to the same, but not quite. Alright, so there'll be basically the same image from panel to panel, and I'll change them up a bit. But so basically, today's comic goes, I guess you could probably skip ahead right there, but why is Ryan Reynolds still tied up in the living room? And Milo's like, Ryan Reynolds, question mark. And I'm like, what happened to Ryan Reynolds? Oh wait, I forgot some text. So then he's like, Ryan Reynolds, that Ryan Reynolds with an M. And then I'm like, what happened to Ryan Reynolds? Oh wait, no, I just got those reversed. Never mind. Now I remember. What I was thinking. So Milo's like, Ryan Reynolds. Dot dot dot. And Milo speaks first. You silly idiot. That's Ryan Gosling. So obvious. And I'm like, what happened to Ryan Reynolds? And then Milo's like, he's in the basement with Meg Ryan. And then I'm like, please don't say more words, but there was a dot 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 at the end of that sentence, so what are you gonna do? And then Milo's like, I'm gonna make a Ryan centipede. I should probably put a hyphen in that. There we go. No spell checking was done, and we'll assume everything is fine. So then I'll hide the text for a little bit, and we'll do some rough sketching. So that's what today's is about. And then I don't know what's going to happen next. Maybe it'll end there. Maybe it will keep going. I'm not sure. I do have about somewhere between 8 and 16. I genuinely don't know. Somewhere in my computer, there's a bunch more Milo and me comics. So I'll put all these together into a book soon enough. But that'll be fun. Bunch of extra stuff you haven't seen before, and all of this same old nonsense. So just gonna copy this guy over here, and I normally zoom in a lot more when I do this, and for some reason I'm not. So anyway, story-wise, and going crazy. Oh yeah, new glasses came in. New glasses came in. So I also feel so much better. No more just weird nose face pain from those horrible, horrible backup glasses. But yeah, where did it all start? Where did it all begin? Oh, it's such a diatribe. Um, that I don't even know. Like I forgot somewhere. I wrote some notes over there actually on some other things that just happened. That I'm like, what is this? Is this the real life? Real world? Is this just fantasy? But two quick things. They don't have a beginning, middle, or an end. They are just screams into the darkness. Before we get into the big things, let's just set the tone for whatever I called this place earlier, and I've already forgotten. But the magic that is Thunderdome. If you're new to this, I usually tell stories about Truro and how wonderful people how wonderful people are, and how just insane it is in this building. Um, but the other day, just the other day, um, out of nowhere, I'm not even. It was so loud. I'm not even sure if it was coming from outside or from in the building. I think from in the building, and then outside, a woman screamed just so loud. Um, ah, you son of a bitch! You can't do anything for yourself. Door slam, and then away they went. Screamed that from like way down in the other end of the building, just screaming that for everyone. I'm like, all right, cool. You're probably guys will probably still be together later today, because that's the way people are. But pretty magical. I did start to work it into a comic strip somewhere in this file as well. There's a comic strip about just like me watching the show outside. Except Milo watching the show outside, and me just saying like, no, we're moving. Like, no, I'm not done binge watching this show out here. It's not on demand, so I have to show up for every episode. I never know what an episode's gonna happen. Um, so something like that. But because it's all a bunch of crazy noise when it gets crazy, then I'm like, I can't actually sit down and do a comic strip because stuff is crazy. And then today, I heard some lady saying to her friend, um, and this is the only part that I heard of anything. Just all of a sudden, this conversation was passing by, and it was, again, it's written down over there, but if I move, there's a good chance it'll reset everything on here, and game over, man. The that's what it was. She's like, I told her, or well, she was gonna, she thought she was gonna cut me, so I told her, go ahead and cut me, cause I'll hit you. And again, loud enough and angry enough that it was just like, all right, that's a true story of something just happened. Um, never go outside. Like, there's an outbreak and stuff kind of happening, but yet, everybody's got time for the little things. Just idle threats and pulling knives on people and whatnot. So that's a thing. And the other day, actually, I think it was, yes, it was when the police were coming. I don't know if I told that story. I don't think I did. But the police were here. They were checking for somebody, and again, I think, no, I did not tell the stream. I just told people in real life. I was coming up the stairs from checking my mail, or I'd left or whatever that was, and I came in and the police were like at a door, like, "Hey, we can do this now or later. Like, come on out. You got to come with us." Like, hmm, that's mildly surprising of a thing to be happening. That apartment seemed pretty quiet and decent, whatever. But as I'm going up the stairs, it was just too clearly enunciated. Too just like I heard that. I heard what I heard, and I thought for hours and days of it had to have been something else. And I finally came up with something that it's like this is the only thing that I might have misheard that they said, but it sounded like the one cop saying to the other cop, "Well, he'll probably want to come along after he eats." And I walked up the stairs just thinking, I'm not really afraid of the cops anymore, at least not in Truro. They're super nice. Like, the cops here are super nice. That's like too nice, really. I mean, so nice to a kind of a detriment, really. But, if something went down, I'd be like, hey guys, let's just be reasonable. Want to get something to eat and talk about this, and then we'll decide whether or not this is a crime? Because it's probably not. It might be a misunderstanding. And there's a chance that that might actually work in this place. So, again, maybe this is the perfect town. So the best I could come up with was I must have misheard. Um, let's come back after we eat because he's not coming to the door. He's not even home. So let's go get something to eat, and then we'll come back, and that makes a little bit more sense than poor Resty. He probably wants to have a meal, even though he hasn't responded to us, and we've kind of demanded him to come out. Let's all have a little snack, and then we'll come back and take him to jail, or to court, or whatever. I don't know how things work. So so that happened. No big deal. That lots of things happen in the world, and they don't affect me in a crazy way. It's just like that's a thing that happened. Sucks for somebody. They got to deal with stuff. Whatever's going on is whatever's going on. So the stage is set. Like I said, if you're new here, that's what goes on. All right, CTK, she knows how it is. She only lives a block away, and based on all of the memes that she posts, she knows the deal. People be getting out of hand, as they say. Nobody says that, just me. Um, arms down. So this one's going to be wildly uninteresting visually, but hilarious nonetheless. So mildly serious move. Who knows? Who knows? So I know I had like 100 other things. Um, but I don't know. This seemed like a 10-week story event. It was really only a short period of time, but it compounded with a bunch of other things that I'm like not going to talk about. But kind of like I had a bad day, and a bunch of people were affected by a thing, and then from that, there's just like, oh, there's some other people affected by a thing, and there's another thing, and it's just like this sucks. Just kind of sad about a bunch of stuff, and some of these things directly affect me, and I don't want that either. And it's just like, draining, so draining. Ain't a nice quiet day, and it's draining in here. And then, up and to the left, up in the corner, there's an apartment that every once in a while they will just crank their music, but they do it in a way like a 4-year-old, where do 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 do, and they'll do that every once in a while for a little bit. Usually not that long, and then it's over, and I'm like, that wasn't that bad. Unlike, some other things, the people at the end of the hall who were like, oh, we're going to fight? Well, then we're going to fight all day. We're going to fight all day. Um, so, um, that's only above part of my apartment. So, like, that apartment's thumping. This apartment, I can hear them stomping around. Like, they're angry about the noise. Like, all right, spreading. Spreading. That's what happens. It's spreading. And the apartment at the bottom, um, to my left, the people who I've talked to you guys about before, who say wildly unbelievable things at a crazy volume level, they start screaming, and it's just like, oh good. It's like I can handle one or the other, really, because they're like way that in the apartment, but both of them combined with this thing, and then that sets off the dogs, and then there's another dog somewhere else freaking out, and it's like, okay, it's just cacophony time, cacophony time, cacophony, and just like, no, no thanks, no thanks, sir, and part of me is just whatever, like, whatever. This will be over in a second. It'll be over in a second, and never lasts too long. I don't know how to say your name except for Ruben. Arben. Urban? Urban. I'm pretty sure those aren't letters. Um, you can interrupt as much as you want, as long as it's not with the crazy random hate crime words. Um, because that happens sometimes. That happens sometimes. And I don't enjoy that. Anyway, they are screaming. Like, I can't believe they have to stop this. Like, okay, like this is louder than the cranked music. And they come out of their apartments, so they're in the hallway screaming, and they go upstairs and scream, "You gotta turn this down!" And I hear the door open, and he's like, the music isn't on. I definitely didn't just hear that. That didn't make any sense. Like, I'm not even just like, no, the bass. You have to turn down the bass. He's like, I don't even have any bass. And then he's like, fine. And then I think they must have turned the music down when they came to the door. So then they went back downstairs, and they're still being loud. Like, they're still being like, now it's just like, cool. Are you guys gonna be screaming about this now that the music is off? Also, if you make it to the bottom stair and you are still screaming, I promise you that the people upstairs are going to crank their music back up out of drunken spite. Because I didn't realize everyone's getting drunk at 7:30 on a Monday night. It's Monday night. It's time for a party, you guys. It's Monday night. I'm just like, what is going? All right, people are having rough times. People have rough lives, and you cope in different ways and at different decibel levels. So they crank the music back up, And of course, they start screaming like, if they turn it back on my head! Like, oh, good. Oh, good. This is going to just keep going then. This is just going to keep going. So their door swings back open, and they go up, and they're screaming again. And I'm just like, all right. The police are going to show up soon anyway, right? Like, somebody's already definitely called the police. But maybe they didn't. Maybe this does just take a simple thing to say, like, hey guys, this isn't working out. The simple solution is both you guys quiet down a little bit and everybody is nice and even, because lots of people live here and you can't, hear all of them right now. I mean, come on. Like, I had a bad day, you guys. I had a bad day, and you're making it real hard to cheer myself up by making a comic strip. And at the time, on my tablet, I had like just an empty comic strip, basically this with the blue, and I'm just like curled up in a ball, like, no, I can do this. I can do this. The longer it takes me to get up and do something, the longer it will take me to get up and do something. Like, this is fun. You don't need to be having a panic attack anymore. You don't. You don't. This doesn't have to go on for 3 days. So I go out. I open the door. I start to go up the stairs slightly, and I'm like, in my head, I'm just gonna be the voice of reason. Hey guys, you need some sort of adult to remind you that this is bananas. Let's just chill out. Let's just gear down and chill out. Both of you have gotten too high for the rest of the building, just way too loud. And I get to the stairs with, my few words in my head planned. This is going to be fine. I'm not even sweating. I'm not even panicked. It just makes so much sense that there's no reason to be afraid, right? This does not actually, I didn't get stabbed. So as I get there, the guy at the door is saying to them, like, there is no base. There is no base. And I just joined in. I was like, or subwoofers or whatever. Like, it's definitely subwoofers you've got going on up there. Like, it's bouncing, 2 levels down through this whole building. Like, and I can't really, I start to say subwoofers, and he's just like, no, nothing's on, and slams the door in their face. He doesn't even notice I'm there. They barely even notice I'm there, and they're just like, can you no? And then she targets me, and it's just like, this is what he's doing. This is what he's doing. I'm like, oh, this isn't. I've made a. Oh no! Like, my head just melts. Like, I don't have any words for this. I just got to get out of here. I just have to get out of here because this is just going to get louder until the police show up. So it's a very short set of stairs. Start to go down the stairs. I'm just like, yeah. Like, I get it. It was like, but now there's 2 sets of noise to deal with. He's like, you don't get it. Like, I live right there. I have to hear this. Like, yep. And I have to hear this and that. And both of those things are shaking my walls. And I can only imagine how much below you it's shaking the people down there. And I'm pretty sure those people are in wheelchairs. So they can't even come up the stairs to scream at you. That part I did not say. I just ended at, and then also the people downstairs. And then instead of saying, oh yeah, I forgot, I'm also being way worse than this thing right now, she decided to keep screaming at me. And I'm like, oh, this was surprisingly unexpected. Now I'm the problem. Huh. That guy's music is still cranked. She's still screaming at me about the music, but I'm just like, okay, yeah. Like, well, what we have to do is tell, like, the landlord, and I can't get anything out. I can't get to the beginning of any sentence. Just the loudest screaming. And I'm just like, it's just, okay, that's fine then. I was like, that's what you're gonna do. Like, okay, cool. Like, never mind. I'm gonna go back. I'm going to bed. And I just turn. I have no idea. In my head, it's like 10 at night. It's like the middle of the night at this point. And it's not. It's not that late at all. So I get to the bottom of the stairs. This is like, seconds. Seconds go by. And for this little situation, I get to the stairs. I just barely pass through this little corridor that leads to my door. And they would turn left to go to their apartment, and all would be well. And she screams at me, and who the F are you? Who the F are you? And just screamed it so loudly, and I'm walking away, and then I stopped, and I had no idea. I had no idea that my Marty McFly chicken was who the F are you? Because I turned around, and I'm just like, who the F am I? And all I did, that's it, just repeated what she said. Like, who the F am I? Like, I've been injected into their lives a few times where, I've told you the story where, like, she is, like, got her arm and leg, like, jammed in the door while he's trying to force her out of their apartment. And she's screaming, help me, and all this stuff. Like, he took my water bottle. I convinced him to give her the water bottle back and let her, leave the building, escort her out as she requests, because she's, whatever, this guy. And then she comes back again the next day. She keeps coming back again the next day. And they'll have a crazy thing. And another time he was, like, whatever they were screaming, he was like, she's like this, she's like that. Like, okay, yeah. I'm just going to the grocery store, dogs. Like, I don't know why I'm part of this now. So it's like, and a few times, like, I've specifically helped them, and they have no idea what I am. They have no idea who I am. They've never seen me before, as far as they're concerned, and I've seen them 1,000 times before. Now, it's not till I turn around and say, like, who the F am I, and the husband comes down, finger in my face, like, you do not talk to her like that. You do not talk to her like that. And I'm just like, I just repeated what she said. Like, do you guys not know who I am? Like, I'm the guy on the other side of the wall who has to listen to this. Like, do you not see how loud this is? And again, I'm just like, this is getting so loud, and like the police are on their way for sure. We were screaming in front of somebody else's door. So she's screaming about like how loud it is and how this and this and that, and I'm like, yeah. I get it, but like this is just louder. This is just louder, and this is what it's like all the time here. Like, we don't need to be like this. So he's getting like somewhat amped up, but this is when I realized, like, oh, you guys are drunk on a Monday too. Oh, great. So there's no shutting this down. Except I can see in this guy's eye, I'm like, I've met this type of drunk before. I've met you. Inside there, I know what you are. You're a comfort creature. You want this to be quiet and over. You want to come to some sort of even thing without a fight, and I can see that, and all I have to do is just appeal to that. And oh yeah, these commercials are the worst, volume wise. Texas, oh yeah. So whatever, I'm there, and I'm just like almost at a point where he is like just about to break on the side of like, yeah, we should just come to a reasonable explanation. And but too late. Too late. Another set of neighbors, they come out to have my back, and I'm just like, no, in my head. No, I do not need anybody to have my back right now, because having someone's back means that a fight is about to happen, and I am not welcoming a fight right now. I'm slowing this down. Hey, Matt. Hey, Matt. Fighter of the night, Matt. Master of karate. That. And honestly, Matt, that is in my head my go-to thing. Is like, I would kind of love to just set this whole place on fire and walk away. This is too crazy. This is too crazy. So at this point, these two are suddenly like they're in front of me, just like, hey, like this guy has to deal with you guys all the time, blah 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 blah. Like, he's the nicest guy in the world. Like, don't do that. Like, we have to build them up, not me. They need to be built up, and I'm just I'm behind these two, just like awfully tempted to just turn around and disappear, but that would be a little bit rude since they came to my aid. So then that's escalating as well, and I'm just like, this has to de-escalate. So I'm trying to wedge myself back in, but then there's some finger pointing, and then the boyfriend is like, oh no, like, you don't point at me, like, oh no. and then he's like, no fists up, but he's like rocking, and then the other dude is like, he's rocking. I'm like, yeah, he is. Like, don't, no need to rock. That's not what's gonna happen here. Like, you're not gonna fight a couple of 50-year-old people that are drunk. As much as they might deserve it, a lot of people deserve to get beaten up in this place. But no, not on my watch. Not on my watch. So he kind of gears down, and the husband, whatever, he finally like kind of comes to that level I was looking for. Where he's like, oh yeah, like this is crazy. This is like, you know, it's like, you know what the problem is like, we don't know each other. Like, we don't know each other. We need to get to know each other, so we can just knock on each other's doors and say like, can you turn that down and whatever. I'm like, yeah, like I knock on your door all the time to ask you to turn it down, by the way, and you guys can never hear me. And again, that just washed over him, because I'm just like, you're only getting some of this. Oh God, you're only getting some of this. But again, trying to stay focused, trying not to make jokes, trying to just keep like, everything's gonna be okay. Meanwhile, that guy's wife is still like, she's, I would say, panthering back and forth like just a caged tiger, just ready to just explode. And the volume still goes up and down every once in a while upstairs. And she's just like, oh, they're doing it again. Like, yep, still not me, still not us. This is a whole separate thing. So I'm just like, yeah. I was like, that's the thing. It was like, everybody being loud is not the answer. That doesn't make it less loud for anybody. It only makes more. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, yeah, I know it does. So he was like, all right, like, don't even worry about this. Is like, you know, kind of, we'll do the right thing kind of thing, talking quietly to me. Again, I can't remember if this part was before or after they came out. There was, you know, it was like, there was a few different acts. It was a 3-act structure to this whole thing. And he's like, yep, don't worry, like, I can calm her down, or I'll just work on calming her down. And sorry, buddy. And he like starts to do this, like put his hand like kind of over her mouth. It was just like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Like, I don't know much, but I know that that's how to ramp her back up again. So she starts screaming again. And when I say screaming, I mean, you know how the human body is like, here's your human body, here's your face, your mouth is attached to your face, and it moves with your face. This was, and I feel like this is a great description, and some people definitely know what I'm talking about. She was more like a mouth, and then the face and the body was like hanging off it, like, you know when a little kid is screaming, or it's just like, ah, and their body is just hanging off them, and it's just like, are you flying from your mouth right now? She was like that, and she just kept exploding. And I'm like, all right, cool, like, this is why the police are gonna come, so it's too late, they're already on their way. So quiets down. The other neighbors who had my back, they were like, all right, cool, like, we're giving up on this, we're out of here. At the same time, oh, that's what it was, that's how we got to the end. I start to say, like, regardless, it was like, the only thing you can really do is, yeah, like, complain to the landlord, and then I'm just like, and when he doesn't do anything, then you call the police, and hopefully that does something, which so far it hasn't. But as soon as I say the landlord, she says his name, she's just like, him, he's the one, just screaming and swearing at me again. It's like, again, I'm not him. Like, I like my apartment. It's just everything that surrounding it is so loud and rough and whatever. So she's just like, no. I'm like, oh, so there are no options then other than this. Like, okay, then if they're garbage, the landlord's garbage, the cops are garbage, then everyone's garbage. I'm going to go be garbage and go to bed. All right, goodbye. And I turned to walk away. And in my giving up, it grew a little, a little light, a little Grinch heart in the drunk guy's head, where he was like, wait, no. Like, kind of, we can't end it like this. Like, we should be friends. Like, we should get to know each other. Like, no, that's like the opposite of everything I'm trying to do in life. Like, trying to be an internet ghost over here. So he comes to my door. So the other lady, she's still caging back and forth, like, they're doing it, like, yep. And he's like, yeah. So he's like, why don't you come on over to our place right now and like have a sit down, like you guys terrify me, like you guys scream like maniacs. No, this is not gonna end in any sort of little friendship hanging out on your filthy couch. Like, no. So I'm just like, but I didn't say that. I'm just like, no, I'm going to bed, and the cops are on their way. So he's still talking to me. The cops show up as predicted. I can hear them coming up, a bunch of them, and she's at the stairs ready to meet them, and she's just like, them. And the cop comes over to me and he's like, okay, like the we were called because of the trouble. I'm like, yep. He's like, and it was because of you guys, not the noise upstairs. I'm just like, yeah, obviously. And he's just looking at me like, you seem kind of quiet actually. Like, why don't you go back inside? I'm like, yeah. It was like, I came out to these people screaming, and they've been screaming at me ever since, and they just kind of calmed down until you just got here. And he was like, all right, like getting back inside. Took the other guy, like, you get back inside. We'll go deal with these people upstairs, because that the other part of the story was they've been at the apartment like twice a day for like 4 days before this, and most of it was for this same apartment that's just being a jerk. Like, they were having some kind of fight the other day. They were just doing a bunch of things. They're just being rowdy. And like I said, they're not little dirty teens. These are like 50, 60-year-old people who should know a little bit better. So, um, yeah, that's what I want there. And then I'll reuse Ryan Gosling in the background when the time comes. Um, so we'll do some cleanup. So I dip back inside my apartment, and I can still hear everything. Like, the acoustics from where they're dealing with these people just shoot right down into my bathroom, and they're in the hallway as well. So the other people, they're still caging in another door. Ah, they're doing it again. And the cops are like, "Yep, we got people up there talking, handling it. Like, this isn't your jurisdiction. Don't worry about it, crazy lady." So, um, what I hear is the cops saying, like, we've been here quite a few times. You guys are being really disruptive. If you don't want to stop this, like, we'll have to do something about it. Like, can you be cooperative and shut it down and not wreak havoc on everybody? And they were like, oh yeah, of course, like, oh my god, yeah, no problem. Um, Cop starts to walk away from them, like, all right, okay, uh, close the door. They go just down the stairs, just to outside my apartment. So they're sitting there, like, I can hear them just like, he's gonna turn it back up again. Like, they're definitely gonna just do it again. So let's just wait a few minutes at least. So 4 seconds goes by, music cranked again, and they're just like, yep, there it is, there it goes again. Yep, knew it. All right, because there's like 4 or 6 cops there. So they start flipping through their book of laws and codes, which surprised me, but whatever. There's a lot of them. So they're like 506, 507, like a 502, like that's kind of a catch-all that we can, kind of put this under, but like we can't just leave. Like we can't just leave these people dealing with this. Like this is just going to keep going. Like they're not giving in on this. So I'm like, oh my god, thank God, like, because normally the cops are like, well, we asked them if everything was okay, and they said yes, so they left. So this is where it gets hilarious. Music's cranked. The cop goes back upstairs. Before they still write them a ticket, they're like, all right, like, seriously? Like, we're still here. We can still hear that you're cranking the music. You just told us you wouldn't. And the music is a little bit down at this point, but I can still hear the music as well as the cop. And I hear the guy say, like, yeah, no, like, we turned the music off. And the cop is like, no, you didn't. He's like, yeah, no, we did. It's like, no, I can still hear it, and I'm positive I could hear him say, like, I can see the stereo, like, working from here. Like, I can see it. Like, not even just hear it. I know that it's on. Like, what are you even talking about? And then the guy's just like, what? Like, no, we turned it off. It's fine. Like, kind of, you guys can leave now. Like, we're not gonna bother anybody. It's just like, what? What? Like, that's pretty magical. Like, I have to say. Who does or says that? So So they go back, digging through codes, calling stuff in, like, should we do this? Is this a good idea? What about one of these? Like, all right, cool. Yep, we'll do that one. Thum, 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 thum. Knock back on the door again. And I couldn't hear that time, but the music did go off, and it was over after that, if you will. Um, but they must have given them some sort of ticket, or court appearance, something. Excuse me. Because as the cops left, they screamed at the cops, like, "All right then, see you in court. I'll see you have a court." I guess they're going to court. I guess they're going to try and fight this, or you just have to go to court. That's what you do. I'm like, awesome, awesome. So I quieted down for a little bit. Came back into my room. Looked at this tablet here, sitting on my desk with the panels open, ready to be comic stripped. And I just like close, turn off the tablet, and then I just kind of sat here like, why do anything? Why do anything? Like, I wasn't harassing and terrifying people tonight, terrorizing, if you will. I'm tired. That was a lot. I didn't expect to do that. Oh, I screamed at so hard. Oh, so tired, so exhausted, so filled with anxiety, so awake, so whatever, so everything. Like, people are exhausting. So I think this was before. Maybe this was part of the lead up. Um, oh yeah, that was the other thing. That was crazy. Speaking of being yelled at, so while we're in the corridor, and she's yelling at me, the husband's yelling at me, and I'm just like, yeah. I was like, that's the thing. I was like, everybody cranks their music to outcrank the next person instead of everybody just lowering theirs. Like, regardless of how loud everybody is, like, I keep mine low. That's the way. That's the way I go. I don't like it that loud, so it makes it harder to enjoy my quiet music, TV, etc. when everybody else's trumps my audio regardless, unless I headphone the day away, which I often do. So she's talking about how, this one's loud, that's loud, blah blah blah. Like, I gotta turn this up, I gotta turn that up. Like, it's the only thing you can do. It's just like you, like, and we don't turn our stuff up too loud that it bothers everybody. I'm like, oh yeah, I can hear everything that you're watching and listening to, plain as day. And like, what? She's like, I don't hear anything. I don't hear your music blaring. I don't hear your TV. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't crank it because I think about the other people in the building. And that one I did say like that, basically, where it's just like, I'm regretting saying this as I'm saying it, because I am being rude right now. What just happened? But it's just like, sorry, that's just true. But the way she delivered it to me before I could answer it was just, I don't hear your music. Like, your music isn't loud. Like, what's your problem? Like, what? No, I just don't crank it. Like, I don't crank my music. Like, that's my problem, I guess. I'm trying to be considerate is my problem. And yeah, a lot of the times in society, being considerate is a problem. And sometimes we're just a slave to what we were named. And my name is apparently Courteous Carrig. So that was a thing. You want another little tidbit? I know, tidbit is the word, but another little tidbit of yeah, I don't know what it is. Proof that I'm out of, that it's not happening. It's just too crazy. It's all just too crazy to be real. was leaving, and I hit the top of the stairs to go down, and that's where there's an apartment, and there's two people that live there. Maybe they're the screaming people. Who knows? Who knows? I won't be specific. And I've told you that before. They've said some outlandish things that, in my opinion, is like, you guys definitely should break up. Like, nobody stays together after that. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess you guys are meant to be because you're both down with insane notions. So, very loud, very loud. I catch something that is clearly about race and slavery. Yeah, let's go there for a minute. So, in this instance, one of these people, near as I could tell, super white. Seems like he's from here and he's very white. Maybe I'm wrong. Seems extra super white. And then she is definitely black. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like 99% sure this, like, maybe he's something where it's like you're something that's a very white looking thing, but I just can't think of any race that has the jurisdiction and is as white as you to say this. Um, he says, well, actually, like, she finishes saying something, 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 slavery is very rough. Didn't quite catch it, but very clearly you could hear, oh, well, actually, my ancestors, my people, actually kind of had it a little bit more difficult, a little bit harder during slavery. Now, I know how she normally reacts to things, because me just saying screaming at me isn't the answer. Oh, I'm going to scream at you. She's clearly like, this is it. This guy's getting murdered. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm witnessing the beginning of a murder right now. And this is why I know this building is haunted and none of this is really happening. It's just ghosts of all different eras having conversations because the only way it makes sense. It's the only way. She says, oh yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I could see that. And then I leave with my brain completely shattered into pieces. Into pieces. Who, what? Who, what? How do you, what? What? Like, there's definitely some sort of context that made that acceptable to her as any sort of statement, but I can't for the life of me think of how. There's just no way. There's just no way. And that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. And I've streamed 1,000 crazy things within the past year. Keep changing how I draw this. So that was that. That was that. So yeah, for just a few days in a row, I felt just like, something's got to give. Like, somebody's just got to calm down. Like, I just can't. So, I didn't stream. I managed to do some comic strips, one of which was about the fact that I'm just like, I'm not drawing good today. So here you go. It's still funny. I think it's still real funny and clever, but it's taking 1,000% for me to pull myself up out of this chair and do anything. And I'm just like, this is a thing that happens. This is, people feel like this all the time, and whatever. Like, you're supposed to be able to just be like, yeah, no, like mental health day, I need a, I can't do this, but you can't actually just say that because there's always somebody that's going to be like, actually, other people have it harder than you. Like, yeah, I know. I realize that. But I've spent a lot of time in different therapy and therapy groups and whatever. So when Mental Health Day rolls around, which I don't know if it's Mental Health Day, but the phone company here in Canada has decided they're going to eradicate stigma by creating a game where you go around Facebook putting up these ads saying, hey, no more stigma. Let's just talk about it. Just talk about it. Just say what's on your mind. It's okay. Everything is a safe space now. Let's talk about it. The phone company's getting involved. Meanwhile, um, my phone bill has like doubled since I've gotten it. And it's like, why? You guys have made all the profits. How is it not 1 year the phone bills go down? You guys could literally half everybody's phone bill for a year and you're still going to make millions of dollars. And that's in profit, not in the like, no, we got to pay all these people. Like, no, no, no. Your kabillions of profit dollars are after people are paid. And then the other thing with this thing is people are like, oh, like we got to do this. It'll raise money for mental health. Like, okay, that's great. But what they are offering is that they're already going to donate money to mental health. So just do it. Don't take somebody who already has anxiety and weird issues about talking about stuff like this. Like I said, like I've been to the therapists. I'm borderline this, and I'm high functioning that, and then this other thing that I'm just like I never even heard of that before. Oh my god, what does that even mean? Does that mean I have multiple personalities? Like, please tell me it doesn't mean I have multiple personalities. Like, no, 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 that's not what that means. Like, okay, like I haven't been Tyler Durdening around, and I didn't know. Like, no, 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 that's it. Just means this other thing. Like, all right, cool. But I'm not going to talk about it with you. I'm not going to talk about it with most other people most of the time, especially not on the internet, on especially not on Facebook, because people jump on you, no matter what. Like I used to always jump on people on Facebook. It's it's hard not to when somebody says something and you're like, actually, like yeah, yeah, you could actually all the things, and we all need to learn to actually a little bit less sometimes because we don't know a lot of things. I ramble on here. That's why I usually just try to tell a story of a thing that just happened and not, actually, here's how we need to fix ourselves. Because I already know, like, because of all the therapy, when I'm in this mood, the direct cure, the direct alleviation of these feelings of this, swirling spiral into just not doing anything and not caring anymore. It's just to do the slightest little bit of exercise. It's to do a little bit of yoga or even just go for a simple walk because, it's cold out. That, like, I don't feel like walking. Oh, because it's this, I don't feel like moving. And when you really feel upset, for me anyway, I make myself sick. That's what I do ever since I was a small child. I remember my dad, my mom, just like, you're making yourself sick right now. You're just making yourself sick, and just like, I don't know what that means. Like, just you have to relax, you have to loosen up, and just breathe. Everything's fine. Like you're just making yourself sick. Like vividly burned into my mind, laying in my bed that had like a race car sheet on it or a comforter on it that looked like a race car, and them just being like it's fine, it's fine. Like you just have to do a presentation at school, or you just have to, it's just a test. It's gonna be okay. And I'm just like, it'll never be okay. Like this is my whole life, my whole career. It's gonna end right here in grade 2. Um, so so I already know that I do that. So I have to try and keep track of when I get upset, so I don't get too upset and know who I can talk to about that stuff. So one of the things I'm upset about is they didn't die, but I lost two of the people that I'm like, oh, finally, I can talk to these people about why I'm upset about things and how it is. Like I'm not upset with people or anything. It's just like I'm just feeling this way right now. I'm gonna get my stuff done. I'm gonna do this, but you just need to know that I feel this way right now. And other people, I'm like, sorry, I don't feel comfortable telling you how I feel because the stigma is still there. So on Facebook Day, like I do every year, and make a little rant that says like, except in this time I'm like, I am fully just coming out of just an absolute day-long panic attack, like just hyperventilating for the day, and I'm like, all right, cool, let's talk then. Let's talk, internet. You want to keep shoving that in my face? So I'm just like, I've been having a panic attack. People, noises, things, bad situations, and I'm real upset. And it would be great to be able to talk about it, but the main problem with why most of the things around me are upset is because of bills. Nobody can afford their life, and then the phone company has all the money and they're charging people more for whatever reason, and they call me up all the time like, hey, we just paid a bunch of people at a call center to call you and ask you to get a more expensive phone plan. Like, no thanks. All right, we'll call back again later. Why aren't you ever calling to say like, hey, guess what? We're going to give you a deal because we made all the money and we're generous people. You know how like when you have extra money, you do something nice for other people? Yeah, I know about that. Oh, so we heard about that and we're going to do that because we're like capable of it. Oh, thanks, phone company. Awesome. Click. So I make a weird rant like that on top of me having my own little, this is me talking, but we should be able to talk all the time. This is the way Facebook is, but Facebook sucks. And I specifically put in there, please don't make me feel bad about this like you did last year when I made this same rant. So then, somebody immediately posts the thing that's just like, and again, there's a bunch of like, hey, no, that's great. Like, we support you. I get it. Like, noise. Oh, it's hard. I'm also affected by sound. A bunch of people who are on the same page. And then somebody else, just like the year before, like, actually, the phone company helps a lot of people in this situation. Like, oh, with all that information in there, we're going to talk about the phone company still instead of the fact that I'm having a nervous breakdown? Is that what we're doing right now? All right then. Delete. Well, actually, first I highlighted the please don't make me feel bad part and put that up. And then I'm like, this isn't what I want. Like, I don't want to start a fight. I just wanted to, have my little let's talk outburst, because people are like, no, I have this, I have that. And I'm like, well, I'm going through stuff, but you don't get the specifics because that's how I talk. And, again, it's none of your business, no matter how much the phone company says it is everyone's business. So I delete it and feel bad about it. And then I feel bad about that because, like, that's what I do. Before I do every stream, I have to work down the tears. Not that I cry every time and I'm like, looks like I'm about to cry. Why? Because I want to do a thing. And it's hard to just go out and be creative for no real reason other than to be creative and to tell stories and whatever. So every time before I do a stream, I get upset. After a stream, maybe the day after or whatever, I completely regret doing a stream or putting up that stop motion that I made or doing the stop motion. Like everything creative, I always regret it. Like that's just built in. It's just built in to most artists, I think. So every day you're just fighting the idea that, oh, I shouldn't even be doing art. What gives me the audacity to think I should try to make silly things for people? And whatever, looks like I'm balding in this panel. Who cares? I do have a decent sized forehead. So whatever, I feel genuinely bad, and I'm like, I guess I was kind of instigating a fight there. I just wanted to point out that the phone company isn't the good guy here. I genuinely know people that are like, I'm going through some stuff right now, and I can't afford the medication that I need. And some other people, I can't get the help until 6 months from now. I would rather the phone company was like, hey guys, Mental Health Day, we're donating this much amount of money because they already have their limit that they're going to cut off at anyway. Instead of, yeah, like now there's this weird game of tag where I feel surrounded by people and I feel pressured. Like that's what Let's Talk Day does to me. Suddenly there's this pressure to be as whatever, and also people don't know. People don't know how many issues that I force down and push aside and deal with and work through just to be this silly fun guy. And most of it is just that part. Like, I need things to be a certain way before I can sit and do some things. And, you know, I have the dishes have to be done before I can leave the house. Normal things, normal things. So whatever. While I'm feeling bad, then I'm like, ugh, I'm just causing trouble on the internet. I just shouldn't even do anything. Why even do anything for the internet? I don't belong there. I don't belong there anymore. I don't belong anywhere. So still, like, whatever. I'll talk about this on the stream next week, and I'll feel better. There's always, always making more things, and then still, like, hey, I can still make these comic strips. It doesn't take a lot of stuff. Um, and yeah, most people are cranky the whole day of Let's Talk Day, except for the people that are kind of not doing stuff or are posting a lot of my bliss pictures. If you're posting my bliss pictures every day and saying my bliss, then odds are you're on a whole other plane than the Let's Talk people, and you actually usually make them feel terrible. So, so I get a few different messages from other people, because I post another version of that on Instagram because I'm like, oh yeah, Instagram's where I go. Facebook is dead to me. It's a terrible, terrible cesspool of nonsense and just bad news. So in in my little Instagram post was something like, whatever, like, thanks phone company. I tried to do some talking, but I didn't, I didn't revere you enough, and now I feel terrible. That's apparently what this day is about. Anyway, I know it's just a marketing thing, or else it would be about the mental health and not about sharing your logo. Like, that's the most insane thing in the world. It's not even a mental health logo. It's not an anything. It's the phone company logo. That's insane. So, or it's not even insane. It's gross. It's gross. It offends me. It's what it does is it offends me. Um, and most of that is based on going to group therapy and seeing how all the other people and how their stigmas affect them. And yeah, I'm kind of part of an art group that's all about F stigma and all this stuff, and it's just like, give your money to them. Give your money to them. The phone company's not going to give them any money, but they're doing what they can to help people get art supplies in the hands of people so they can do art therapy or just to enjoy art and be a part of a group and what have you. Or give your money to the people that you know are trying and doing things in spite of the fact of how hard things are. Uh, I don't know. Maybe I sell books. Maybe I make T-shirts and stuff. Maybe I make things, and I would love for that to be my thing that I do instead of working, 10 hours a day and then trying to squeeze in all of this other stuff that makes me feel alive. But then when nobody buys anything, when people come to the market and just look at me like I'm out of my mind, it makes me feel like I'm out of my mind. But then somebody will stop by and be like, oh wow, this is great. It's different and new. Finally, something great. And I'm like, oh good, thank you. That's exactly what I needed. Just needed one of you guys. Now I'm going to go home and make more stuff. Because I like it. But, gotta pay phone bills. Gotta pay phone bills. Gotta pay the rent. God knows those dogs across the hall aren't paying the rent. So, oh yeah. So I get a message. Too busy talking about myself to talk about other people. Of somebody saying that exact thing. She's like, "This day is the worst day." She's like, "I get into the biggest depression on Mental Health Day because I feel like people are throwing mental health in my face. Like, mental health, be mentally healthy. Do this, do that." And it's just like, I've already been working on this. Like, you can't just have a sudden, did you come up with the greatest analogy in the history of analogy, and you cannot wait to unleash it on everybody? Because I think that's exactly what you're going to do. Sometimes great analogies just exist in the shadows, waiting to come out to be the knight that you deserve. That didn't make any sense. That guy is the worst. He's like way worse than me. That's for sure. You're all the worst. But yeah. I think that a big mental health let's focus on everybody day is the same as let's just go with anxiety. Just pure people with let's go severe anxiety. It's severe anxiety day, guys. Guys? Severe anxiety day. You know what that means. Anxiety parade! Anxiety parade! Everybody in the town go by, point and say stuff and point and then yell things. It's a parade. Drums. Cymbals. Anxiety parade. And then watch people's heads explode and as the blood drips down their ears and they run screaming and crying, or they just don't show up because they're like, excuse me? What? An anxiety parade? You guys got to read a book or something, man. That's bananas. That's bananas, and that's what upsets me about. If anybody's been hanging on this for a little while, wondering like, seriously, what's going on? This guy's out of his mind. And yeah, that's my problem with Let's Talk Day. It feels like you're throwing a parade at me that I can't escape from. CTK. She knows what I'm talking about. She's point at my phone. She knows what I'm talking about. But again, that's my thing. Is also like the only way to make it through life is to find the funniest version of everything as well, or else everything is just sad. All right, I got some hero stories, but before that, real quick, I don't know geography. I'm the worst. I'm so bad at geography. I don't know much about geography. I don't know much about biology. I don't know that song either. But geography is at the top of the list for me. I get lost so easily, so easily. If it's somewhere I've never been or haven't been a few times, like going to Space Goonie and Pat's house, the first 25 times, always miss their road. And when I do, like I just can't. I could right now. I could do it second try at least, but probably first try. If I got in the car and went there right now, I could probably do it first try, and it's not hard to find. But I still would always miss it, because I just get lost easy. I get lost easy, and yeah, let's go with that. Totally lost what I was gonna say, trying to remember the next thing, so I didn't forget that, and then I usurped my thought. I get lost easily, going places. Milo doing things. No. Did the analogy. I didn't lose that train. Ugh. Geography. Geography, yeah. Oh, that's what it was. It was because it was so innocuous and stupid. That's why I can't remember it. I don't know anything about geography. The end. There's definitely more to it than that. You're not that stupid, right? Come on now. No, I'm not that stupid. No, I don't know anything. I don't know anything. But one thing that I do know about geography, just by seeing the text, I didn't even need to look it up. But I know that Kansas is not a state. That's just a thing that I know. I'm not even the president of anything, and I don't even live in America. and I don't know any of the states, but I know that Kansas is a city, and I think if I guessed, I think I could guess Missouri, but I mean, Wizard of Oz. It's called Kansas City. I mean, sports. Anyway, so president's still stupid. I don't know why it's taken them so long to fire him. Nothing makes any sense. Literally, the exact same person that was arguing against Bill Clinton is arguing the exact opposite reason for keeping this guy in. Like, what? Like, come on now. They're allowed to have some crimes. Whereas Bill Clinton was like, we can't even trust this guy with anything if he did this one thing. Like, what? No. But both? Both. Get them both out of there. They're both liars. But one's a little more rapey. Or wait. But yeah, anyway, football teams aren't named after states. I knew that much. And I don't follow sports. But I thought that was amazing. But you really can't go judging like, oh, look at that, I'm smarter than a president. Like, nope. It's definitely more impressive to be smarter than a fourth grader. So, that's just, that's just dumb and in the regular news. But in my news, I went for a walk to make myself feel better, and unfortunately, I did get groceries. But when you're feeling down and you've just decided, like, no, like, I definitely need to get some vegetables, I need to get some healthy food, let's, have some salads and some chicken, and that's great. And then you're like, I don't want that. I don't want that. My fridge is just full of healthy stuff. You know what I want? I want some sort of gas station pizza sub or roll or whatever. I don't even care, but I know that that's what I want, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go for a walk, but I know that somewhere within that walk, there's going to be a pizza burger situation, and that will make me feel good for a minute. And then later on, when I'm like, oh, I made myself sick, but at least this time I know that it was because I ate some sort of gas station pizza product and I'm not making myself sick. Pizza bites I really actually don't enjoy. I'll eat a few of those, but I don't love them. Pogos, oh my god. Oh my god. Every time they're on sale, I'm filled with nothing but regret. Oh, a box of 24 Pogos or 30 Pogos or whatever's in it. Hot dogs on a stick. Yeah, for that price, it's cheaper than getting 4, so I might as well get 25, and then I'll eat them like 3 at a time, both for meals and for snacks. Oh, oh man. So good. So good. So regretful. So anyway, um, while I'm being an awful person, trying to decide, I'm at the fridge at the gas station, looking at the different sandwichy type things, just thinking like, should I? Or should I just keep walking until I get to a pizza place and get a real slice of pizza like a good person? But no, I'm kind of in the mood for this. There was a time this was our thing. Me and my friends, that was our thing, was going to the store and getting pizza burgers. And somewhere in there, it gives you that subconscious nostalgia endorphin, I guess. Let's make you a little bit wider. So, like I said, I'm over at the fridge. I'm looking. I'm, shaming myself in my head. Like you're gonna be pooping so bad later. Like, yeah, I know, brain. Yeah, I know. But I'm gonna be loving it. Um, Yeah, that's what I want. So, dude comes in. He's carrying a bunch of random stuff. I can hear him saying, like, they're like 3 feet away, saying to the guy that works there, like, can I have a cup of coffee? And the guy's like, what do you mean, like, have a cup of coffee? Like, can you give me a free cup of coffee? Like, I really can't do that. He's like, I literally, like, it's cold. I'm traveling or whatever. Like, I'm walking, this and this and that. He's definitely out of his mind on some kind of drugs, I would say, or maybe he's a little bit drunk. I don't know, but it has to be some kind of pills. But or he was just kind of really out there. Either way, I felt bad. I didn't feel like some kind of drug addict. Just like, oh, that poor guy. He has a rough life and things are hard for him. And I really, really want to. I'm just like, I'm definitely gonna buy this guy a coffee. I can't not get myself a horrible pizza sandwich for $3 and not spend whatever coffee is. Like it's probably 75 cents on giving this person a coffee. But you'd like to do a good deed, but you do not want to interact with these people, do you, Sarah? Judging them. Perhaps he is not cleanly enough or too annoying. Exactly. I'm still a monster as much as I want to do something nice. Like ideally, it's just got you a coffee, paid for it with some change on the end of a web, and then, hey, do you want to thank me? And away I go. Too late, or even better, pneumatic eyes. Hey, yeah, I'm gonna buy that guy a coffee. It's from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. See you never, guys. See you never. And away I go. But again, swinging away. So, it's not that I don't like doing nice things. I just don't like people. But I want them to be happy. Where's my camera button? So, I'm trying in my head to figure out the logistics. How do I buy this by a coffee without getting involved, without talking to him? Because as I'm, not just based on seeing, not just like you're too dirty to deserve a thing. He was going on. He took his glasses off. He was wearing sunglasses on. It was dark out. Took his sunglasses off. Said something, and then the guy was like, "Why did you just take your glasses off like that?" He's like, "I wanted you to see my eyes. I wanted you to see that, like, I'm a person of God, and I'm not a drug dealer. Like, I never would have thought you were a drug dealer. I noticed you didn't say I want you to know that I'm not a drug addict, because there's a swift possibility that that's a thing." And whatever. So I'm like, I don't want to have any conversations with this person. No offense, but I would like them to have a nice warm coffee. What a dilemma! What a dilemma indeed. So anyway, the guy's like, I can't. Like, sorry, like, there's nothing I could do. Nothing I could do. And it's just like, you could totally give this guy a coffee. But he was kind of a younger guy, so it was like, you definitely just got this job. You don't want to get fired for giving away a free coffee or even for buying some rando a coffee and starting that bit of trouble. So the guy suddenly is not suddenly. Then all of a sudden, he asks, "Can I go to the bathroom?" And he's like, "Oh, you guys have a bathroom? Can I use your bathroom?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, of course you can use the bathroom." Like, "All right, oh thanks, like that's so nice of you." And part of my brain is like, "Oh God, I hope that guy just doesn't go in there and destroy your bathroom because you wouldn't get him a coffee." But who knows? But the other half of my head was just like, my window, like my spider sense is tingling. And then away I go to the counter. And I'm like, yep, give me my sandwich. And was that guy asking for a coffee? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, buy him. I'm coffee him, give him a coffee when he comes out. And I'm just like, in my head, trying to seem like a nice person, but I'm just like, I have to get out of here. Like, I don't know how long he's gonna be in the bathroom. Like, bad news for you, probably a long time. Or bad news for me, only a few seconds. I've got to run. Spider-Man does not hang around. All right, at the speed of light, he arrives just in time. He escapes just in time as well. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Wealth and fame, he's ignored. Action is his reward. When you're the Spider-Man. So I do that, whip out the door, and just kind of fast walk. I think I'm far enough away, because, he was talking about God. I've got a beard. There's a good chance, there's a very good chance, he is now having a conversation with the store guy about, like, that's kind of a miracle, isn't it? Like, I was basically wishing for a cup of coffee, and then this bearded gentleman came in, and that's the kind of havoc I like to wreak on things. Like, if I could have inherited one thing from my dad, it's that. It's politely she's causing trouble through weird generosity. But it doesn't end there. Does Spider-Man's night end after one good deed? Meow 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 meow. Exactly. That's how the song goes. So that's what I do. Um, it's fun to touch by an angel. Um, so I want to say it was the same day. Was it earlier? Same night? Yeah, maybe it was earlier than I thought. So I get home, get a message from somebody that I basically don't really know very well at all. But that's the world. You have 1,000 acquaintances and people that are just like, yeah, 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 like we're friends, but I don't know these people very well. And like I said, try not to accumulate too many connections. Because I'm a maniac. Because that's an anxiety parade. Too many people is an anxiety parade. Um, So that person's literally like, hey, super rough time right now. I know you're having a bit of a rough week as well, but this terrible thing happened. Super upset about it. Like, that's super rough. Oh my god, I wish there was something I could do. Well, there's literally nothing I can do about that. But also, um, like, tried to borrow some money from family, and I only, got not enough for anything. Like, honestly, kind of an insulting amount of money from my perspective. Like, you can't buy anything with $5. Um, but with that, it's just like, I don't have any food. Like, I haven't had food for like 2 days because things are too expensive and life is hard. So I'm just like, oh my god, like, oh my god. But of course, my first inclination, my first reaction is, you can't have my money. Like, sorry, you just can't have my money. I'm, I don't like have all the money, but I'm also not poor. But again, the way my head works, like my budget is still somewhat specific. I know that I can grocery this hard, and then I can, I'll get a random nonsense toy or whatever, and stuff evens out. And as long as it stays within this, spectrum, that I'm happy and fine and I don't have weird money anxiety. But, I replaced a roof twice. That's expensive. I'm still paying for that. The interest on that alone was all the money. So, I have that very specifically slotted in my brain where I'm like, I can't just give money away. And that's the other thing is like, I can't lend money. I mean, I can, but to like literally like three people in the world, I'm like, yeah, I'll lend you some money. But most instances, I'm like, no, I can give you a certain amount of money that I'm comfortable with not expecting back because usually when people borrow money, they're not going to have twice that amount of money the next time they have some money. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So I would rather just give that money away. So of course I'm just like I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with this mostly at this point. But I'm like I need to do something. Want to do something. Um, and of course, my dad is just like floating around always in my head, just like, come on by. You know, people need. They're hungry. You can't just spare. You can't just grab some cash. And it's just like I don't have cash. I don't have things like that. And there's just a certain thing, just like bye, like think I was worried about Carl. Pay me back for that couch. Like, no, you weren't worried about Carl paying it back for this. It's like, yeah, I had a family, a new home. I couldn't really afford anything. I had, just enough money. Managed to get some money together, get him a couch. He needed a couch. They were real happy. That made me happy. Like, don't you want to do that? Like, yes, of course. I'd love to buy Carl a couch all the time. But I don't know. So literally, I'm like looking in my cupboards, like what I could put together some food, right? And I'm like, I just got a bunch of vegetables and stuff. Like none of this is what other people would eat. I can't just give somebody some food. But I just don't feel comfortable with the money at this point in time. And again, I've already groceryed hard enough this month, and I'm like, nope, past the point of no return. Now I got to eat what I got and not get more gas station sandwiches. So let's go back and put in all the details that I forgot. We're going to ignore the fact that Curtis looks completely different in every single panel. But I remembered that I keep forgetting about a Walmart gift card that I got for Christmas. And I thought like, hey, Ghost Dad, I've forgotten about this more times than I can think of in situations where it would have been useful. Therefore, I can afford to not even have this gift card. So I'm just going to give them this gift card, which is more than I would have given them in cash. And I know that they can go get some groceries. So I'm like, hey, here you go. Go get some groceries. And it's like a Christmassy card through like Merry Christmas. I'm like, what? Oh yeah, Merry Christmas. Just go get groceries. Go take care of yourself. And again, all I want is swing away and just go make some stuff. I don't care. Or whatever. Like, what I learned in therapy is I care too much. I care to the nth degree, to the point where it's like, I can't care anymore. So it hurts, so I don't care, and it turns to rage in the cage. But no, my problem is, yeah, I care too much, and I really don't want to. I need to self-care more, but I need to take care of everybody else first. So, a little more the same. So, she sends me a message like 5 minutes later, and honestly, without being the word, like, if you're watching, I'm super sorry to say it this way, but I'm just like, no, like it's great to be thanked and all this stuff. I'm just like, I'm trying to, I can't, like, I'm still within the week of, I don't want to answer any messages. Saint Michael 81, thanks for following. 'Cause you're an angel in disguise, Saint Michael coming down from the skies. I don't know enough about angels and stuff, but that rhymed by accident. All right, let's fill this in with some white here real quick. Paid behind. Nope. So yeah, she sends me a message that's like, oh my god, like you like, thank you so much. I'm like, yep, no problem. Least I could do, go eat food. Like we will, I will. We're gonna go get food. Like yeah, that's all I care about. Like again, this thing my dad always just like if people are starving, feed them. If you can make that happen, like okay, ugh, get out of my head for 5 minutes. Um, but I don't know. This is the funny part. That's to me. I've said this 1,000 times before. I feel like I might have said it to Space Goonie's mom, somebody in your family, but maybe it was Nikki's. But either way, she was like, I'm bawling right now. Like I can't even believe how much I'm crying. Like thank you so much. Like that's crazy for somebody to do. Like yeah, I'm a crazy person. Don't worry about it. But I'm just like, before the yeah, I'm a crazy person, don't worry about it, I'm basically like, good, yes, like that's what I want. Like that's my thing that I do is that I make people cry, and I love it. I didn't for once add that delicious tears, because that's the real funny part. So it just seemed a little crazy. Instead, I was just like, anyway, yeah, no problem. Just another adventure for your or why won't you? There we go. Yeah, I was like, yeah, no big deal. Just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And then she wrote back, Parker, or well, not that, something like, oh, thanks, Parker. And and I was just like, that's a secret, because nobody's supposed to know who Spider-Man is, even though he takes his mask off more than anybody. Oh, spleesh. But it's things like that. Like usually try not to be monetary, but especially going to the market. Like I also skipped the market last week because I'm like I just can't, and there's like work stuff and blah blah blah. And I'm like I don't even know. Um, but I do know that when I go to the market, all it does take is one or two people that stop by the table. Like oh you make art, like I make art, like oh cool. Oh but uh, somebody always inevitably says like, yeah, but like I can't really do art, or there's nothing nowhere for me to do art, or blah 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 blah. And then I'm like, whoa, no deal, Mr. Mandel. Anybody can do anything. Like I've seen lots of people that are doing it, more successfully than me. And I've been trained and I've been practicing forever. And some people are just like, I just decided to do it, and they're awesome. You might be one of those people, or if it's a thing that you enjoy, just enjoy it as hard as you can, for as long as you can. And if you don't anymore, then switch over to something else. That's totally fine. But yeah, don't ever take the side of like, it'd be great if I could do art because I love it, but I can't, so I won't. Like, no. The only way to get better is through doing it more and practicing. And if I'm, wary enough when I'm saying this to people, I will actually realize, hey, I needed to hear this too. And sometimes I will say that to them, hey, I needed to hear this too because I'm prepared to go home after the market and go to sleep for 2 days because this is a lot of standing and talking. And just stuff like that where it doesn't have to cost money or even much time to fill yourself back up with positive ions or whatever. Oh man. And that's all anybody's trying to do is figure out what your jam is and rock to that jam as much as you can. My friend Don Don, he's a caricature artist that you can follow on Instagram at caricaturesbydon.com, or just caricatures by Don. That's his website, caricatures by Don on Instagram, and he wrote like, "Hey, like all my friends who do uh, uh, live stream drawing, like, what do you get out of it?" And I thought he was already doing it, but it was like, oh, Don must be still weighing the options. Uh, so um, so I immediately, like, I haven't answered anybody anything in really a while. I'm like, all right, cool, like, let's be a part of society again. And I jump in. No, nobody had written anything. I'm like, oh, hey, Don, like, I do it because I just like to have some kind of little show where I do a little show and draw pictures and tell stories. But like, I'll do that almost anywhere. Like, and I added the joke like I'll do it from the bridge to the passage, which was the bus that Don and I used to ride on at the same time sometimes, and I would just sit there and I would just do a podcast at Don, and that's that is my jam. That's what I do, and it's hard to stop me. Um, so this is a way that even small audience, big audience, I still get to do it. I get to draw and tell random stories at the same time, and for the most part, I only got suspended once. But I'm like, yeah, like it's not really like it's not about money or anything. Like it's still like this is this is a venue, and I don't have to pitch to networks. I don't have to go through all of the hoops of making a TV show. I just like it. And then the analogy I threw up on his thing was it's kind of like if your kid, no, it's kind of like asking your kid, like, what do you even get out of me putting your picture up on the fridge? And like not everybody has somebody to put their stuff on the fridge, so you go to the internet to be your fridge. This is my internet fridge. I think I had a website called or a blog called something like that a while ago. I was going to, and he was like, all right, cool, like that's what I thought. Like, yes, like maybe I'll start my stream then. And yeah, it basically comes down to like why does anybody do anything? Again, like looking at politicians, why anybody would take any of those jobs, I can't understand. Like they sound like the worst. Just most headache filled jobs in the world. Like unless you're one of these people that's like, um, actually trying to save the world and do good things, then yeah, of course you've got to force your way into politics and make the change there. But the people that are like the Trumps and the whatever that are just like, why are you doing this? Like you could be doing virtually anything with your background. Like no, I'm gonna wreak havoc on people with my weird random laws and upholding old timey things, even though the world is long since past that. Like why? Why? So I don't know. This seems like a funner version. Fun, more fun. All right, 10:30. All right, just about done here. Oh, I still need to do the bubbles. Need word bubbles. Cheating. Um, Baba Ganoush. And then delete. Text and bubbles. Text and bubbles. Um, oh. So the other thing, I feel like I mentioned this and then forgot about it, but went to the pawn shop on the next street over there. Had a microphone that I'm like, this is a good microphone, but it's not really useful to me. I've replaced it with a mixer, blah, blah, blah. We've covered that. And yeah. When I got there, they didn't really have anything I needed or wanted. But you usually just get more value if you trade for something rather than just bring it in for straight cash. But mostly I just kind of wanted it to go to a good home, hopefully, and it's like a music store as well, so some music person, some sound person might take it. Then I'm like, I don't know. I was like, honestly, the only thing I kind of want, but I don't know if it's super expensive. I can't see a price on it. Maybe you'll just trade me for it. Maybe you'll tell me it's a ridiculous price, and I'll be like, yeah, no thanks. I was like, there's a classic Raphael Ninja Turtle figure, but like it was like it's new, but it's based on the old 80s cartoon, 90s cartoon, and it's super articulated. It's got like 1,000 joints. Like the fingers are articulated, the thumbs are articulated, the toes are separately articulated. It's got like the double jointed elbows and knees. Its torso has articulation. 1,000,000 points. And I'm like, well, trading for free, well worth it. You know, not something I need. I already have, this turtle over here that we talked about before from the movie that I think is the best. But, just to put up on the shelf, why not? Why not? Made some space on the shelf. Why not fill it back up again? So I get it home, forget about it for a little while, then later on, finally tear it out of the packaging. No, I tore it out of the packaging, then I did a stream, and then I looked at it after the stream, and I'm like, what is going on here? I thought it was just too cold, and the joints were maybe frozen a bit from being outside. I'm like, it wasn't outside that long. What is going on here? So Like, something's weird about this. Uh, I go, and I was like, but it looks official. Like, I'm checking, like, all the logos are there. Like, it's not a bootleg toy, as near as I can tell. But let's go dig the packaging back out of the garbage and see what that looks like. So I look at it and realize, a good chunk of this packaging is not in English. And not in the normal, like, Canadian style where it's French and English. Um, but it's mostly, and I can't remember what it was now, like Portuguese, Spanish. The back of it had like all the languages. Like it was just a little blurb in all the languages. And when I went and Googled it, the back of the packaging just has one, and then the character or whatever. So I'm like, okay, the packaging is different from the official one. The Playmates logo is down in a completely different spot, and I believe it said like, oh, for distribution in, I can't, somewhere that's not America or Canada. I can't remember where it was now. So I'm like, oh, crazy. Like maybe this is a bootleg, but I think it's just released in another country. But then I'm kind of like, maybe it was like a weird collectible thing. That's why it was at the pawn shop in this thing. But it was, the price on it was just $20. It wasn't anything at all. So I'm like, this is nuts. And then I'm like, after, looking at it forever, trying to figure out what its deal is, like, the person who bought it wouldn't have noticed this, would they? And that's why they pawned it? Like, it just seems like a weird thing to bring to the pawn shop. So, should have did this when I had the other camera down. So, it's pretty big. The size are all, fit in his belt, come out separately. But, like, just, like, joints everywhere. Look at these. Let's switch cameras. Yeah, so there we go. Like, everything, toes, individual toe articulation. That's bananas. You know, two different sets of joints, or like rotation points on his legs. I don't know if it rotates, but I'm just like, but I can't get his arms to go up and down at the shoulders. Only at the elbows. Only at the elbows, and he can rotate at the rotator cuff. I don't know what that is. He can rotate there, but when you look at the ball joint there should be. See how all the I don't know if you can see. Yeah. See how at the elbow there's like those little circles where the hinges go through? And then up here, it's missing. So all they did was they took, you can see the square to where the joint rotates, where the hinge goes. And, but they just molded that shoulder piece with the hinge already inside it into one piece. So his arms are frozen, or like his shoulders are frozen, and they can't go up and down. So it makes it both the worst and the best at the same time. Like, I don't know, like I kind of, it makes it special and magical. But it also just, I guess I would have to see another real one. But I don't think it's a bootleg. I think it's just a weird machine mistake, and they're like, yeah, screw it. Send that one to a different country. We don't care, because that's the way companies are. But yeah, like thumbs are fully hinged and ball jointed. I mean, it's bananas. It's bananas. But still, I can put him in some fun poses. So he's usually up on my shelf, kind of like pointing away, like, what about up there? What about over there? Am I right? Like, you're right, Raphael. You should be just pointing up and wondering things all the time. So, again, at the end, I imagine as soon as I realize this, like, lots of people that I do know, have known, just being like, oh, unacceptable. We're going back there and we're getting the money back. And just like, no, I'm totally fine with this. Like, I'm totally fine with this. This is not something to get upset about. Like, if I can handle people yelling about getting stabbed and screaming and the police and whatever at all hours, just people going nuts, then yeah, you know what? A turtle with some missing joints is no big deal. He's in the basement with Meg and Ryan. Please, sir, say not a word more. My ears cannot take any more harsh, bizarre circumstances. Cause you had a bad day. Take 'em on down and you turn 'em around. There. That's what we call a daily comic. And give me a few more weeks or days, and it'll be a book that you can get. See that link down at the bottom in the corner down there? That's where books can be bought. And I got the password back to the website, so I can update it. So in theory, I should be able to just add a streaming page where you can just go there, so the people who do want to watch but they don't want to log into a YouTube or Facebook or anything, it'll just be there running by. I almost started to set it up to stream to Facebook, but since I can't get it to go specifically to the No Such Thing as Grown Ups Facebook page, then I don't want stuff to go through my page. Like I said, like my page is broken and weird anyway. It's always spamming people, and it's frustrating. So whatever. I do everything through the No Such Thing as Grown Ups, which actually is usually just fed through the Instagram, which all of it is No Such Thing as Grown Ups. Twitter is garbage. I don't go there anymore either. There is a No Such Thing as Grown Ups Twitter. I don't know what feeds that. It might be fed from my Facebook. I'm not sure, but I don't know. I just still use Milo's YouTube or Twitter, which is Handsomest Milo. Not a very fun Twitter. I used to have fun breaking some fun jokes there, but Twitter seems to be mostly about the American president now. That's what that show's all about. So why bother? Honestly, just everybody let's all Instagram, eat some ham. Who gives a damn? It's Instagram. Good Instagram rhyme. Anyway, I don't know. Ripley. Meow. 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 Yeah, it's pretty late. Maybe next week. But good idea. Anyway, thanks for everybody who stopped by and endured my nonsense and craziness, and still looking around like what did I forget to do? And also on the Instagram is where I put my Mario Maker levels, not Mario Maker 2, just Mario Maker 1. I kind of love it. Everything I see in Mario Maker 2, it actually kind of looks too much. But yeah, if you want to play those levels, mostly I'm specifically targeting them at Space Goonie, so I usually still try to keep them fun, and myself. Like every time I make a level, I play it more than anybody will ever play it. Just like with my own comics, shorts, whatever. You know what? Before we go, it's only 4 minutes. The other thing that I did, I've had this stop motion, this little short that I made a while ago when I was in my other apartment, trying to modify a little toy to make a stop motion character. I can see it from here. It's up there on a little stage right now. And I was just stop motioning some little segments, and then I decided on an idea, and then I stop motion some more, and then I lost a bunch, and then I edited it, and then I'm like, it's done. Still some things I wanted to fix, but computer update, so I lost all of it other than the final movie. So it's like, all right, might as well just put it up in YouTube. There's nothing I can do now. Now it's done, whether I want it to be done or not. But this is like as high quality as it can get. So let's see. That's weird. QuickTime Player 7, you say? Don't know which is which. I think this one. Oh, perfect. You can check it up here. Okay, nope. That's not it either. Why? Why? I made sure to have this all set again. When everything shut down on me, all of my preparation was for naught. Okay, here we go. And I go to... We figured this out, Ripley. We had this all figured out. Did I put it here? Ah, yes. And that's my finger. Okay, just glue that closed. All right, this is terrible.
What's going on here?
What? You have a problem with orange nucleus?
What? No.
What about orange nucleus?
No, what? No, my body.
What? I fixed it. Your elbows work now. Both your hips work. Both your knees work. It's all better.
Only one ankle?
Yeah, one ankle doesn't work. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making all of this up as I go along. Still, pretty good job. Pretty good job.
Paint? I demand paint.
Can I just, for a little bit, and then
I say you paint me.
Fine.
Wrong. Let me finish. Where are my clothes?
No, they don't fit anymore, so you gotta wear Barbie clothes now.
Does that mean?
No, it does not mean.
Fashion show. Clap, clap. First outfit. Perfect. First try.
Nope, next. Perfect.
This is the first one. I'm going to eat your face.
Hey, sometimes you have to make some mistakes before you get to the final whatever it is you're doing over here.
Well, time to kill everyone on this ship.
What?
You know how resistance is futile, and I'm going to eat your face.
No. Don't eat anybody's face, okay? Oh, for the love of... Now I don't have
But the face
any
meat.
time. Enjoy your stage, and I'll be back in a bit.
And here I sit upon my stage, filling up with all my rage. Shh. Hey.
No singing your feelings in the house.
I say what I mean, and I mean what I say.
My face.
Well, now, I'm bored again.
Is this our dynamic? Is this what we do? No.
I'm still going to eat your face.
No more face eating in the house.
Oh. Is this really my voice?
Well, I got no more voices left. I don't know. Do you wanna try a lady voice?
Hey, yo. No, that's no good at all.
No, it's no good. Let's stay the course.
Just say, time to hunt you all down. One by one, everyone will go down. I'll start with your face.
Make movie stop now while it craps out. Anyway, as I was saying, well, everything kind of goes out of sync. Thanks for watching and hanging out for a few hours there, I guess. And next week we'll talk about maybe the behind the scenes of that thing, or I'll make something else before then, because that's always what I'm trying to do. God knows, I've got 100 quarter finished, half finished, 3/4 finished projects sitting in that computer, just waiting to be completed in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, but that's it. NoSuchThingsGrownups.com. As per always, follow the Instagram. That's how I tell everybody this thing's gonna be a thing. I play a little piano on the stories, or the Facebook No Such Thing as Grownups, and that's about it, I guess. Aside from buying stuff at the, I guess it's still up here. It's not down in the corner. Yeah, Milo's in the way anyway. Anyway, like I said, good to see everybody. Good to talk at everybody. And thanks, like I said, for enduring my nonsense. Need to click away so that I can close everything. And hey, Ripley, you ready to hit the end credits? Yeah, you are. You're the sweetest angel. All right, good night, everybody. See you next Tuesday. No such thing as grownups.com. Go to bed, everybody. Ripley.